What's up, ladies and gents? Sinistr1, your host here, and we have got some new updates on Assassin's Creed Shadows with a brand new stealth gameplay overview. So I thought it would be interesting for us to take a look at it for the first time. I haven't seen this yet. There is a few clips, I believe, out there as well. Obviously, Shadows was supposed to come out already, but due to whatever circumstances that have been going on with Ubisoft and things, they decided to let it cook a little bit longer. So we're going to be getting it next year at the beginning of the year, of course. I am, for one, very excited to play this. I can't say anything, but I should have hopefully some gameplay for you guys sometime within the next month or two. I don't know. I can't really say. But out of the net, we're going to be, covering this game very extensively and doing this full stealth, 100% platinum, all of that good stuff like you guys have come to expect with this channel. Now we have a renewed focus on bringing back the walkthroughs and making professional videos and stuff like that. We're still doing the live streams as well, but we're going to be putting a real huge heavy focus on Assassin's Creed Shadows when it does release next year. So let's go and take a look at the new gameplay footage and kind of go over the overview of, some of the updates. So this came out November 21st. I know I'm a little bit late. I'm always late to things. I'm not a trendsetter for sure. I usually, my tail waggles on its own pretty much. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So hello, everyone. Assassin's Creed Shadows drops on February 14th. Nice little Valentine's Day gift for my wife not being able to see me for a few weeks after that date. We're thrilled to start offering you deeper insight into the gameplay through a series of posts over the next few weeks. So this is something I guess that's going to be reoccurring, so that's nice. We'll bring you brand new details on combat, parkour, and exploration. Let's kick it off with a stealth overview. While we're primarily focused on Neo, or Naoi, or I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, one of Shadow's two protagonists who seamlessly blends classic assassin techniques with the quiet agility of a trained shinobi. Some of these details apply to Yasuki, Shadow's samurai, as well. Well, that's at least makes me feel a little better knowing that the samurai can do some stealth elements. I know he's not going to be obviously a heavy oriented stealth character. I mean, that makes sense because of the way they're doing it. A samurai is not a stealthy character because their whole purpose and motivation and what they do is pride in letting the enemy know I'm here and I'm better than you. That's the whole purpose of what they kind of offer. Whereas the shinobi is the more, like get in, don't be seen, or eliminate everyone and no one knew you were there. So yeah. All right. So all footage is from a work in progress build. Some of it is maybe compressed, which could affect, make sure to watch it in 4K. So of course. All right. So a new stealth philosophy. Stealth gameplay in Shadows has been ambitiously overhauled in a few key areas. First, the most obvious change for AC players would be a lack of a companion eagle allowing you to scout ahead and map out the entire location. I, for one, am so thankful for this because there was nothing just more, I don't know, that just took you away from the original Assassin's Creed than having a bird just mark every enemy for you. It just seemed like a cop-out. It's like you didn't have to do any of the actual reconnaissance yourself. You are using a bird to do it all for you. You can just move. So you go right up to enemies, mark them and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't like that. So the fact that they're taking that out, I think is a plus in my opinion. I did like using it, but I don't think it's needed for the overall package of the game. And I'm excited that they took it out. So that's pretty cool. All right. So since that was taken out, in Shadows, players may rely on the main character's own senses and engage enemies in a more tactical moment to moment manner. This is awesome. I love that already. Observe. Both Naoi and Yasuku. Sorry, I know I'm awful. I've done a lot of not kind of paying attention to a lot of the stuff on this game coming out because I wanted to be surprised as much as possible, but we're getting so close to the game and I know I'm going to get a chance to play it sometime soon, so I just, I'm just like, it's time to get a little bit more deeper into it. So fast, easy way to toggle information on screen. So you have a new observe mechanic. All right. Observe allows you to identify targets, tag, monitor enemies, highlight lootable stashes, collectibles, and quest objectives. Of course, that's been in pretty much almost every single Assassin's Creed game. for the most part. Usually just using eagle vision, you could always highlight certain things. And in the new RPG styles, they kind of took that into the even more, where just the tiniest little loot would show up, you know, in your thing. So, I mean, we get it. It's just the way gaming is today. While on a sync point allows for close examination of nearby locations. The new observe mechanic is at the core of the Assassin's Creed Shadows experience. When in doubt, take a pause, observe the world around you, and only then should you decide what your next move is. So let's take a look at the video. Got to enter our birth date here so you guys get to see exactly how old I am. All right, so yeah, a simple mechanic. Let's watch that again one more time here. I do love the look of the environment. It looks really good. So, yep, as you're walking along, you can mark them. So one really great thing about that, in my opinion, is that you don't have to like go into a binoculars mode or something like that. You know, obviously not every game, you know, like I can say for Star Wars Outlaws, you know, you had to go into your actual binoculars in order to tag the enemies and things like that, where here you could just literally look at them and tag them. So I do appreciate that. I do love the look of the game, though. Especially those graphs. Now, not necessarily a big fan of... Okay, so I'm not a big fan of the fact that these guys have levels above their head. I want Assassin's Creed to stop leveling characters like this. Okay, if I have a knife and you have a neck or a part of the body that is exposed... Now, granted, some enemies might have specific armors on them, but if you look, most of those enemies have a neck just ripened for a blade. So it doesn't make any sense to me if a character is higher level than me and I just can't seem to find the neck that's showing there as I put my Assassin's Creed blade into the neck and it only does half damage or something like that. Hopefully they'll have a... Like I said, I've looked nothing up on this game, so there could be things that you guys are telling me in the comments right now, like, Strain, don't you already know that they already said there's going to, you know, I don't know. So I'm just giving you what I'm observing from the trailers and the stuff that I'm seeing now. I really hope that they have that button that they did in Valhalla and in Mirage, where it allows you to be able to take enemies out, not based off their level, but just, hey, thanks for providing the flesh and allowing me to sneak up on you. You know what I mean? All right, it's got the same compass stuff. The viewpoints are back, of course. Okay, so I see right there, you've got Assassinate and you've got Grab. So now you can grab enemies, which is really cool. Now, I wonder if if you would actually grab an enemy stealthy as well. Like, say these other two guards to the right are not actually even anywhere near the guy on the left. If you can grab the guy on the left, take him to a secure area, and then assassinate him from that grab, I think that would be pretty cool. But like I said, I do not like how that guy has a skull icon, which explains to me that I wouldn't be able to assassinate him, even though if I would get behind him, it would make sense that I would be able to. But as you can also see, he has a lot of armor on. His neck is fully covered. The only part of him that I could even see that you could penetrate is the face. So, you know, why couldn't you benefit? If you're going to put the face there and you're not going to have it covered up, then you should allow us to still be able to take him out only from a front position. Or you could land on top of him, knock him down, and then go into the face like that. So these are the things that I think of. You can also see these little yellow things that show up. I'm guessing that they're just saying that, hey, there's something of significance here that you want to check out. But looks like that's it. We'll watch it one more time here. I do, like I said, I like the environment. I like the grass, the way it looks. I love the aesthetic, the UI so far. I just don't like the numbers above their heads, but I'll see more as we go into it. But there you go. All right, so there is the first video. So we'll move on from there and figure this out. Both Observe and Eagle Vision work independently, revealing different sets of information. Okay, that's good to know. Both Naoi can combine both concurrently to reveal, observe, and tag enemies through walls, a very useful habit to have if you don't want to blunder into a room full of samurai waiting for you. Okay, I could get that. It's a video game. So what? You can tag through walls. Doesn't take me away from the experience. Now, if they make it to where you can do it because of, you know, you're leveling up and you're becoming one with the shinobi force or whatever you want to call it, then that would hopefully make more sense. All right, shinobi moves. Hiding in the shadows. For the first time in Assassin's Creed series, hiding in the shadows will make you invisible to enemies. Okay, we'll see how this works. During nighttime, any pocket of shadows becomes a dynamic hiding spot in which you can progress without being seen. This applies to both interiors and exteriors. The ability to use shadows in this way invites you to carefully study your environment for hiding opportunities and routes, or create them yourselves by destroying lanterns with a shuriken. Naoi is a perfectly capable shinobi in broad daylight, but the cover of darkness gives her a remarkable edge over her enemies, especially on higher difficulty settings. Okay, so now I know. I didn't know before, but now I know there's actually a difficulty setting. Obviously, we're going to play on the highest setting, depending on what the achievements say. If there's achievements you need to unlock based off of difficulty, obviously, but we'll assess from there. But in my walkthroughs, I love to play on the hard settings for stealth games specifically, because that's where I get the most challenge. Staying low. While Naoi is fast, sprinting while you're attempting to be stealthy in a highly populated environment can be risky. Emphasis on the word duh. The sound of footsteps with alert guards who will spot you almost instantaneously. In general, standing up increases your visibility. Duh. So this is when crouching comes into play. Naoi can move quite slowly while in crouch, with the sound of her footsteps considerably reduced. Crouching is also particularly effective indoors, minimizing the sound of nightingale floors, specifically designed floors that creak whenever someone steps on them, for example, reducing the chance of bumping into noisy objects. Now, obviously they're stating the obvious, duh. So like crouching is always going to make you more stealthy, but if they're making crouching have a more realisticness to it because of the different types of wood flooring and stuff that you're going to be walking, you got to remember this is in the past. There's not like concrete and all that kind of stuff walking around and whatnot. So you're gonna be walking on wood, you're gonna be walking on bamboo, you're gonna be walking on all different types of very noisy surfaces. So now maybe actually, crouching is going to have an even bigger effect, because let's be honest, in the original Assassin's Creed games, guess what? There was no crouch. So obviously, they need to update, and as the games went on, we had crouch and things changed. But this is good. Let's see how this pans out.
This is undefended.
All right. I love how they're emphasizing one full video on just crouching. Okay, so first of all, I see that we've got a thing there that tells you that either I'm guessing you can't be seen, okay, when you're crouching. So does that mean like if someone were to come right here, I cannot be seen? Let's see what happens when they get closer to this lamp here that you can obviously turn off or on. See? Okay, there we go. So when you get close to that specific light, then that meter will show that you can be seen at that point. And then, oh, I just saw something even more interesting right there. So what is this little meter on the side? This little meter on the side's got me a little confused. So is this... That might not be a visual thing. That might be a sound clue, even though it has an eye, because it looks like the meter is going up as she is going over this type of flooring, and the people outside have that opportunity to hear her. And then once she's past their point of where they could hear, this is going down. Now, I don't know if this represents seeing, because it looks like it would also represent seeing, but if you're in the light, it should be immediately seen, as opposed to a little meter that goes up. So I'm guessing that has to do with sound as well. I'm thinking that this here in the middle means sight. And if anyone is in that area, they will see you, period. And what this meter means could be sound, as in the sound that is coming out. If it reaches to the very top, that means they're going to be suspicious of something. I'm pretty sure that they won't be able to know exactly where you are. So my question is, if you can't be seen, but you're making sound, would this be turned off and then this would still be going up? So that would be my next question when it comes to that. All right, so going prone. This is something new, right? Because I don't remember ever being able to go prone in an Assassin's Creed game. Naoi and Yasuke are the first protagonists to be able to go prone in the series. Going prone reduces your visibility to enemies even further, whether on the ground, on rooftops, or underwater. So I do love how they're putting an emphasis on more realistic and realism type of stealth. Prone is a huge thing when it comes to stealth. I mean, in the army days, that's one of the things we learned, is that when you're infiltrating a compound, you're doing stuff, you know, you're going into the prone position and you've got your weapon on your hands a certain way. There was different ways that you could put your weapon as you were kind of drag it with you while you're going prone. So this kind of makes sense. It's going to be interesting. Although I don't see why a samurai is going to be using a prone position. That literally makes no sense. I mean, I don't know anywhere in the books have I seen a samurai sneak into anywhere. But we'll see how that works here with this next video. So for Naoi, going prone comes with its own set of movements. By pressing the dodge button while in prone, you can roll to the side. I like that. A la Metal Gear Solid, of course. Front or back, a useful maneuver to quickly employ when a guard approaches. Keep an eye under buildings too. You might just find an opening you can crawl under. I like that. So obviously that's something you're not going to be able to do as Yasuke. Okay, whoa. All right, for one thing, I did not like the janky movement there, but I do love the look of this grass, of this, right, or this, I know it's not grass, but this bush here. It's, I mean, you could really, I love the detail in that. It looks really good. Let's look at this again. So, okay, so when you're, now, was they actually prone, or, I can't tell if that's prone or if that's crouched, but either way, I'm guessing it's prone because it says prone assassination. So let's watch the whole thing. So that is prone. Okay. All right. So I think I misunderstood that little animation there, and I got a little confused by that. So she sits up back into a crouch position and then takes him down. And then, so okay. A few questions I have from this are, when you're in this position and you go prone and you go out of this position, then you take them down. You're going to take them down outside of the cover. So would it make sense to stay in the cover and then drag them back to the cover like the games used to do? So I'm failing to realize where this here would be the most tactical thing to do in this situation. Expose yourself, come out, and then now you leave a body there, which I don't know if you can actually hide bodies or not in this game. But I do love that they're putting new maneuvers in the game, which is going to give you and more people more fun ways of playing it. But in terms of practicality, that doesn't make any sense. If you're inside this big bush here and an enemy is right next to that bush, get on the edge of the bush, drag them in, and that's it. You don't need to go prone. Now, there are other situations where you might want to use it, but this situation right here doesn't seem like it. You're just doing it for fun. Now, here we go. We see this thing again. Obviously, okay, notice how she wasn't even moving and this thing started to go up. So this might actually be tied to this person in particular, and this is the sound he is hearing. So even when you get up from prone to crouch, you're hearing something, and the sound of you moving towards to get him a kill. I don't know how that works. See, now it's going all the way up. Okay, I don't understand this meter. I'm going to be honest. Maybe somebody could let me know what this meter is really doing. Like what's the purpose of... It can't be the sound, because why would this sound go up when I was just prone and going into a crouch position? There should be no sound going from prone to crouch. So why is this meter going up? All of a sudden it just went up. Now, does that mean that there's like another enemy that... This has to be that I'm in light. That's what it has to be. It's not tied to a person. It's just I'm in light. This still, to me, has to be sound. I don't see it any other way, but I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me yet. Maybe you guys are getting the same thing. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Let me know. All right, the Shinobi and Assassin Arsenal. Naoi doesn't have to rely on her stealthy moves alone. She has 4 primary tools at her disposal to help ensure a quick kill or getaway. She has Smoke Bomb, which is the classic assassin tool that creates a cloud of smoke, allowing you to escape or assassinate low-rank... I don't like that. Assassinate low-rank enemies without being seen? Come on, you can assassinate a high freaking ranked enemy if their neck is available. Don't. You're already going to get crappy points for going that route. This is Assassin's Creed. This isn't... I'm going to try not to let that upset me, but I don't like when they tell me that I can't assassinate someone because their rank is higher than me. There's no such thing as ranks when it comes to stealth. There. All right, Shinobi Bells. The perfect tool to distract enemies. By throwing a bell, you can, okay, lore guards, the same thing as the previous games, firecrackers and other kinds of things like that. Assassin's Creed Unity had those types of things. Kunais are extremely sharp throwing knives. Obviously, we had them in Ghost of Tsushima. They do a lot of damage, result in one-shot kills when aimed with precision. Shurikens are sharp. Yep, we get that. Some enemies will not be easily tricked by your smoke bombs. Okay. Let's see why. All right, area effect, of course. Good. All right, assassin. Okay. I like how fast that was. So that assassination was very, very easy. But notice how these guys, they just left. They're all level 28. So what makes the other guy smarter than the other one? See, 28. They're all 28. Those guys leave, but one guy, okay, I don't know what differentiates the enemies saying I'm smarter than the other enemy when they're all the same level. Maybe because of what they're wearing. He even though they're all level 28, he's got on like I'm a guardsman kind of outfit where they have on like I'm a little someone more important, but they're all the same level. So that's what confuses me. That's why you don't introduce levels. All right, love the animations, love the look, love the jump off. I love the parkour. I think they're really going deep on parkour because the parkour in Mirage was great. It was a step in the right direction. So I think that this is a part of that step and it looks good. So you throw it, jump down, assassinate, look, continues to roll, right? That's cool. I like that. I like animations like that. That's good. New race to hide and kill. Naoi is our smallest assassin to date, and she uses that to her advantage. She can squeeze through tiny wall cracks, and she can hide inside small storage spaces and boxes to drop on her enemies. Double assassinations are back. We know the players are always looking for efficiency in their stealth runs, and this is why we are bringing back double assassinations. By equipping the Tanto as one of your main weapons and unlocking the dedicated skill. Okay, so you have to work your way up to it. That's fine. You can eliminate 2 enemies standing next to each other at once with your hidden blade, whether on the ground or from the air. Grabbing enemies. Here's what we were talking about earlier. While undetected, you can briefly grab and drag enemies in any direction to silently assassinate or take them down non-lethally. This grab mechanic removes some of the automation we've had in the series before, okay? In Shadows, if you want to assassinate someone from a stalking bush, you have to manually grab them, pull them in, and then only then can you actually dispatch them. I like that. So Gone is me just being able to be on the edge of a bush and have them right next to me, assassinate, I drag them back. I need to grab them first. Okay, so it should be technically the same thing, just it's putting more gameplay into the player's hands because now you have options, whereas before you would just assassinate them and drag them back. So let's see how this works. It looks hilarious. So you can, daddy like. Okay, so I love the knockout. I love the knockout. For some, I know a lot of people are like, dude, if I'm gonna be a shinobi, I want to go out and take everyone out lethally. But me, I there's something about non-lethal that just makes me feel good. It's like I embarrassed you enough to not take you down, and you got to go home to your family dishonored and all that kind of stuff because you allowed me to get by. You know what I mean? Just something about that makes it so much more fun. Even though it looks ridiculous that this little tiny 4'9" female is grabbing you by this string, keeping you from talking and dragging you back. That looks absolutely ridiculous. But this doesn't seem practical to me. That's the only thing. I like this. It's a video game, so I don't mind it. But it doesn't seem practical. Obviously, they had to make it a way for a tiny female to be able to do this. I get it. But it doesn't seem practical. I feel like this would never happen in a situation. She would either put a distraction for that person to go over to the bush, or she would stay in the bush and have them come towards it and then take them out that way. But for her to grab them and then take them back like that doesn't seem as realistic, but I do like it in a video game. I think it works in a video game. That's just my opinion on it. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. All right, so we're going to move on with the next one here. All right, so this is not all. While we cannot cover everything in this article, know that there will be more stealth opportunities to discover once you get your hands on the game, including failing stalicities. I don't even know what the hell that means. Distracting guards in winter, or swift assassinations through Soji doors. All right, next up is enemy tactics. While you have plenty of ways to hide and eliminate your targets, enemies will respond in ways that will make your life more difficult when you make mistakes. Servants, for example, are a new type of non-lethal enemy that will alert guards upon seeing you. Okay. Wow. And I did see that in that gameplay thing that they showed off like 5-6 months ago. That can't fight. Their ability to call for reinforcements, raise alarms, make them just as threatening as enemies. Servants have their own patrol routes, so it's important to keep tabs on them. While using eagle vision, they will stand out by appearing in orange. When infiltrating heavily guarded positions such as castles and fortresses, different districts each exist as their own individual arenas. This means that should you get caught in one pocket, you can still recover, re-engage, and keep your stealth going throughout. Okay, I like that. You mess up, no one is close enough to alert the entire base, or the base is too spread out that obviously there's no such thing as walkie-talkies back then. So yeah, makes sense. Suspicion and investigation. If you get detected and are able to disappear again, enemies will search for you in pairs, one watcher, one seeker, and will remain more suspicious going forward. This means that tactics such as whistling to lure them in will only increase their suspicions, and thus their ability to spot you. This can have an impact on your ability to assassinate from a hiding spot, as their suspicious guards will be more likely to get in the way if you're not cautious enough. I like that. Unique enemy behaviors. Focus on the samurai. All right. So certain enemy archetypes will present unique challenges to your arsenal. For example, samurai cannot be assassinated when caught in a smoke bomb, as seen in our clip above. Instead, they will quickly evade the smoke area. Okay, so it's the samurai. The ones that are actually samurai know that when a smoke grenade comes up, they run. They don't just stand there. This contrasts with the other soldiers or the servants who can be assassinated in smoke. Samurai are also more prone to deny assassinations, and they can even slice bushes while searching for you. Okay, I like the slice bushes things, but that's been in previous games too, which removes options to hide. Samurai are fearsome enemies and cannot be taken lightly. Once alerted, they are hard to trick or lure, as they assume that any tricks you use are just that, a trick to lure them. This will force you to adapt and think harder about how to get the drop on them. I like that. I do like that. But every challenge brings new opportunities. Smoke bombs can become an effective tool to disperse samurai if you are looking for a quick escape. Assassination denied. Here we go. This is where I might not agree with. Through Shadow's progression system, it's important you to focus on developing your stealth skills and abilities. Enemies will have levels based on their archetype and region. So if you neglect assassin hidden blade upgrades, you may find that stronger enemies can completely deny your assassination attempts. When approaching a target, a white assassination prop indicates an instant kill. Okay. Yellow means you will deal some damage, and red signals that the enemy will completely deny your attempt. This is stupid. I'm just going to say it. Listen, I'm to the point that I'm no longer going to be like, I'll wait and see how it is in the game before I make my assessment of it. I can tell you that this is stupid. If a neck is available, you kill them when you go in for the attack. If they're stronger than you and you have to go through a mini game and you can fail that mini game like they did in Valhalla, which I thought was totally fine. But if you get the drop on someone, they don't know you're there, and you go directly for their neck, they should be done. Period. If they have armor on, I understand it. They can overpower you. You have to find a different method. This is samurais you're going up against. You have to be smart about it. So again, we'll see how this works as I come back to that line. But my initial impression is I just don't like it. When it comes to assassinations, progress and context work in hand. Invest in perks that increase. So hopefully, if you are going to be stealthy, that you're investing in the perks that continuously keep you being able to take them out. So obviously no neck available. Okay, first of all, no neck is available. But if you look, you could easily get a knife. You can get a knife or something like that in here to be able to take them out via the leg. I mean, and that would probably allow you to be able to then grab their hat and remove it and then you could take them out. These things, I guess, are probably too much thinking when it comes to this stuff, obviously. So this is in yellow. That means you're not going to do full damage here. It's like they're going the way of the RPG again. And I just think they need to go away from that. I don't like it whatsoever. I don't like it at all. Because there is available opportunities here in these enemies to take them out. I mean, come on, you can slice their legs off, and then what is he going to do? He's going to cry and scream, obviously. Not a stealthy approach, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay, so he does a little bit of damage.
I saw you coming.
Okay, the I saw you coming, I can understand that, but I mean, it still is very hard for me to... What about grabbing them? Are you just still going to be able to grab them and drag them? Because the grabbing didn't have a yellow animation or yellow color to it. It just was white. So that's got me a little confused. I do love the animations. The animations look really good. But it does have me very concerned that they're going this route. I just, you know, I would love to hear someone's opposite opinion of mine when it comes to this. What makes you think that these changes here are good? Let us know in the comments and we can have some discussions and figure that out. For me, I don't like it. I understand samurai can overpower you and there's not a lot of places to hit them, but there should be workarounds for taking them out stealthily still. Like, if you cannot ever take out a samurai stealthily, I don't like that. I don't like that. Hopefully you will be able to at some point or by some means. Okay, next up. Note that an option in the menu allows you to do insta kills on all enemies. Of course they put that in there. I mean, that is what we're going to select. I don't even need to talk about that stuff anymore, because why on earth would anyone that loves the Assassin's Creed series not actually feel like an assassin? Why do you want to play the game and feel like you're nothing, that anyone can overpower you? It's not about overpowering. It's about the ability to sneak up on someone that does not know you're there and take them out because you have that opportunity, right? If you move too quick and you make too much noise right before you attack, that person has every right to stop your assassination, and then you have to figure out what you're going to do from there. But if you successfully stealth against anyone in this game and you don't have the ability to take them out because of game mechanics, then that doesn't make sense to me. So I will, of course, be turning that option off. And I'm sure a lot of my other fellow brothers and sisters in stealth land are going to do the same. But that's me. Let me know what you're going to do in the comments. While Yosuke is very much built for direct close quarters combat, he can still be stealthy when equipping his bow. Okay, gotcha. Using the ranged weapon, you can engage enemies from a distance. I can't believe you can even crouch. I don't know about you, but that's dishonorable. How dare a samurai use a bow and arrow to take someone out and not just go directly up to them and say, "Fight me, cowards." You know, how this is literally blasphemy, because it shouldn't happen. I'm kind of mid joking here. Like, this is kind of like a mid joke. I laugh at it because the whole purpose of Ghost of Tsushima, which has to be compared here because of the nature of what we're trying to accomplish here in these games, it made sense for him to use a bow because he started to become the ghost. Obviously, samurais use bow and arrows all the time, but in this situation, is it just me, or does it not seem dishonorable to take down two enemies like this? I mean, as a samurai, like, I don't know, like, all the samurai stuff that I see is always confronting your enemy from the front. It's never sneaking up on an enemy. So I think it would have been even better if they wouldn't allow you to do this because of your code, and then they didn't give you stealth at all. So no stealth. Like if you're going to play as this character, you will not crouch, you will not be stealthy because it doesn't make sense. If you are a samurai, then you need to act like a samurai. This isn't a samurai that wants to become the ghost. This is a samurai that wants to continue samurai. But we'll also see what story related things they're going to put in here that could make me change my tune in that thought process. Now, if you're in a battle, of course, you're in a battle. Everyone is equally fighting each other. This is not a battle here. This is something that a samurai should not technically do, or a samurai would not want to do. Again, I might be overthinking some of this, but they put a samurai in here. Use the samurai in the way a samurai is supposed to be used. Again, still not a fan of the level system. All right. If players are careful and deliberate, Yasuke can also slip behind foes and deliver a devastating assassination with his melee weapons, blending stealth with a more direct combat approach. We'll have more on his skills in our next deep dive. Okay, so if players are careful and deliberate, Yasuke can slip behind foes. So he was already behind 2 foes right here. He has a crouch button. So what do you mean if he is careful? Like, is it because of all your armor you make so much noise even when you're crouching? It's like they're having an identity problem here. They don't understand that they've created this completely different play style that they've still put stealth into. I mean, what you just said right there, and the fact that I could literally sneak up behind these guys. Now, devastating assassination attempt. So when has a samurai done an assassination attempt? I'm just having a hard time understanding their thought processes. And I'm coming at this from a huge fan of the AC series. And I can't wait to try it myself and to get my real thoughts on it, because all I can give you is what I see. Okay. I know this was a long video, but I wanted to do a deep dive into this because this series means so much to me and I want it to be so good. I want it to bring love back to the Assassin's Creed series. I already told you guys that I'm going to be spending most of my time playing as the shinobi because that's what I want to do. I want to be a stealthy character. I don't want to I can go back and then replay the game and then play all of the stuff that I played, before and do it as the samurai, and then that's fine. I could go back and do a different style playthrough as well, but I want to go stealth first, which means it's there's no reason for me to want to pick his character, even though they're telling me now that I have a bunch of stealth options. Obviously the assassinations will probably be really loud because samurai doesn't do anything soft. So I get that. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm overthinking some things. And if I am, please let me know. I just really want to know your guys' thoughts on all this. Am I thinking too much? Should I wait to get it in my hands and then, come up with the conclusions if these systems work or not? We can only judge off of what we see until I actually get a chance to play it. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for checking out my deep dive into the new stealth mechanics for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I will have another update when more information is available. Don't forget to leave a like, comment below, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out. Stealthy bitches. Meow.